Hi, welcome to another episode of Haunt Talk. On today's episode, we're going to be reviewing Eerie Acres Farm in Butler, Pennsylvania. This is their second year of operation. It's a farm haunt, so it's kind of a mixture of inside, outside. It's not a trail, so it's kind of just that. It's like pallets, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like a pallet haunted house.
Yeah, the pallets at least kind of transition it. And I would say for their for only being their second year of operation, I was pretty impressed by it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was. We had a lot of fun there.
So we'll get right into it. First, let's talk about sets and props. They had some pretty cool sets in there. They had some really neat scenes.
Definitely some unique things.
Yeah, definitely. Like there was a pirate ship in there, which at first glance, I didn't know what it was. And I'm like, what are we on? And then all these pirates like came at us. And I'm like, oh my God, it's a ship.
Right, because at first I just saw like they had like the things that lift up where the cannons come out. And I didn't realize what it was. I thought by my look, I'm like, oh, it's a whole like ship that they built. And it was really cool. And they had like netting and pirates, like she said. That was neat.
Yeah, that was really cool. They had a movie theater scene, which was really neat. It was playing like a big horror movie on the screen, like one of those old 50s ones. And then it was the seats, and you had to like, kind of like at the theater when you have to get up and like there's people sitting, you had to like go around these people's legs and stuff.
But you didn't know which one is real, of course.
Yeah. That was very unique. I really liked that a lot.
That was really cool. And then probably it's such a simple scene, but probably our favorite thing was the washing machine.
Yeah.
It's basically like this little like room of washing machines you have to get in and out of, and the one is just going overboard and just spewing out soap and bubbles, and I don't know why, it was just really cool, and it was effective because there's people in there that can like jump out of like behind clotheslines, and they like can bang on the lids and stuff.
Yeah, it was really cool, cause like the floor was covered in soap bubbles, and it was really unique, very unique.
They had a really big zombie scene. Might have been a little bigger than it should have been. And they had a maze at the end, which we did get lost in.
Yes. It was very effective. Very effective maze. There was also a dentist scene that was really cool. He was very creepy.
Yeah, he had like a mask, like
and stuff. Yeah,
it was like ripped and like made of teeth. And that scene had quite a bit of detail. And of course, there's a person in there, screaming as he was drilling with like an actual like drill, not a dentist drill, and like rusty pliers. Those are gross. That was cool.
All right, so for sets and props, we gave them a 7.5.
Yeah, they just need some more. A lot of it, like we said, is a pallet maze, and there's definitely room for expansion. The rooms that are there, some of them could be a little more detailed, but they're still really cool ideas, which we thought were a lot of fun to walk through. So the only main complaint we have is just that there needed to be some more, and it should be pretty easy the way they build it, since there's a lot of like in-between things that kind of like guide you from scene to scene with the pallets. So I assume throughout the years those will probably be less of that and more scenes.
Right, yeah. It would be great to see more scenes in there, because what they did do
was really awesome.
Was really good.
Especially for only being, their second year and stuff. So, yeah, we were pretty impressed. It was a lot of fun. All right, next up, we're going to talk about actors. And this was definitely the highlight of the event, and they pride themselves in their actors. They were very good. They had lots of dialogue. They talked to you. They were very in your face. They'd stalk you for a while, which I really liked. Like, there's this clown guy that just followed me for a while. and he got me actually, like, a couple times. And after that, he would just kind of, like, just stare at me and just, like, because after you leave the scene, you kind of walk around one of the pallet things, and he's just kind of just watching me, and he would just follow me on the other side and just stare at me, and it was creepy.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. I'd have to say my props go out to the little hillbilly girl. She was really good. Like she like greeted us when we came into the area, and, obviously told us we were trespassing and that Mama wasn't going to be happy about it and whatnot. And then she started crying and stuff. And it was actually really, really good. She was a really good actress. I have to say, well done.
Yeah, really good. And I also they load up scenes with actors. There's like the zombie scene, for example, had a ton of actors, which was good since it was so big. I said I would have liked to seen that scene a little bit smaller. Maybe the actors put somewhere else, because the only thing with actors that maybe I was like slightly disappointed in is in between the scenes with the pallets, there was a lot of dead space at times. That was the only place where I'd like to see more actors. But for the scenes themselves, there was a ton in like each one, and definitely they got us like pretty much, I think, like every time they tried, which was cool. Like,
oh yeah, definitely
good hiding spots.
So for actors, we gave them an 8.5. They were really good. Just would like to see a little bit more spread out.
Or just spread out, because I think they had a decent amount, just kind of spread out a little bit to those more dead areas.
All right, so moving on, we're going to talk about scare factor. They had some pretty good hiding spots. They got us a couple times. I have to say the movie theater was probably the most effective for me, because you couldn't tell who was real and who wasn't, because they had like gloves on and everything. Right. Everybody was slumped. And then they had a couple other really good spots that were very effective. So for scare factor, we gave them an 8.
Yeah, it was pretty scary. Yeah, like I said, definitely for jump scares. Again, this place isn't a place that's going to like touch you or anything like that. But yeah, I thought their hiding spaces were pretty good, and there's a lot of, they used distraction very well, I thought. Yes. For example, the hillbilly scene again, it's like someone doing something over here, and then like someone comes out of a door on this side, and you're it's kind of like, oh god, they're everywhere. And so I really enjoyed that. All right, next category we're going to talk about is value. It is $15 general admission, $25 for fast pass. It took us, we timed it. It'll take you anywhere from 15 to 20 minutes. We were right in the middle at about, I think it cost like 17, 18 minutes, I think we were. So we were right under the 20-minute mark. And there is a maze at the end, so it depends on how long you get lost in that. Like I said, we did it hit the dead end a couple times. I think the value is pretty damn good, so we gave that an 8.5.
All right, so for our overall score, we gave Eerie Acres Farm an 8.
Yep. Like I said, there's room for improvement, but I mean, for second year haunt, I mean, like this place, it was really good, and it had kind of like it had that nice kind of almost home haunt feel, which this place did used to be. Definitely, I mean, it's a step up from that. It feels like a professional haunt, but I like the feel that it's like, it just, what I mean by when I say that it's a home haunt feel, I don't want it to be misunderstood, is it felt unprofessional, but it felt as if though it was just a group of people getting together to do something they like. They weren't doing it to get like rich or to make lots of money. They just, this is a thing that they like to do, so they're doing it. Yeah. And I mean, we got to talk to some of the people that run the place, and that definitely seems like that's exactly what's going on. And
just to point out also, they didn't have any animatronics. Like everything they made was handmade.
Correct.
And either that or it was like, something they made practical use of, like the washing machines and things like that. But everything was handmade, which I really like.
Yeah, it's really cool. And that's a reason we don't have a separate spot or separate section for animatronics. Sets and props, animatronics would be in there because places don't need them. I mean, hell, one of the most detailed places we went to all year was that Chippewa Lake Slaughterhouse, and they had like 1 or 2 animatronics.
Yeah.
I mean, they just didn't need it. Not all haunts need it. And a lot of places don't use it correctly. So the more and more, like, I see them, like sometimes they can be distracting, too, and they take you out of it when you can hear the gears clanking, or when one's not working, it's just kind of derping out a little bit or something. And you're just it's just kind of like, oh, that's like a... But when you're just actors and just, props and sets and stuff and not animatronics, that doesn't happen, really. So, yeah, I mean, places don't need that. So make sure if you're in the Butler, PA area, there's some other haunts that are pretty popular around there, like Cheeseman Fright Farm. Make sure to give them a check out, too. They're real close to it. I mean, anywhere like the Pittsburgh area, definitely worth the drive out there. And we are very excited to see where they go from here.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so that concludes this episode of Haunt Talk. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel if you have not yet. We also have a Facebook page strictly just for Haunt Talk. Make sure you like that. Tell your friends, tell your enemies, tell whoever. We just appreciate everybody that watches our videos and everything. So we'll see you next time.